my friend! I am so happy to see you here today on Boston's Freedom Trail. If you look at my feet, you see the Freedom Trail itself, this red brick line which stretches 2.5 miles through these streets, connecting 16 of Boston's most interesting historic sites. You may wonder at my attire, ladies and gentlemen. Nay, I am not a time traveler. Rather, I am your trusty colonial tour guide, and you may call me Jack. Before we begin, I must teach you a cheer of joy from my time. The word is huzzah. When I say hip hip, you shout huzzah. Hip hip. Well done! Come follow me. Let us begin. We begin here on Boston Common, known as the U.S.'s oldest public park. This was established in 1630. Today it's mostly used to just relax and enjoy the greenery. Hangings happened here. On the edge of Boston Common is our beautiful Massachusetts State House, the Capitol. It is known for its beautiful golden dome, covered in real 23-karat gold leaf. My. On the other edge of the Common, we find Park Street Church, built in 1809. This was a major site for Boston's anti-slavery movement of the 19th century. Here we have the old Granary Burying Ground. This is the final resting place for some of the most influential people in our history, including many of the Sons of Liberty. Sam Adams, the beer guy. John Hancock, big signature. And of course, Paul Revere, the Midnight Ride. Around the corner, we find this distinctive stone church known as King's Chapel. It has quite a bell struck by Paul Revere. Listen, and we may even hear it. Oh, how beautiful. Just across from it, behind it rather, is the imposing old City Hall. Built in the 1860s, it is no longer a government building, but rather Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Wow. The Old South Meeting House here was not only a place of worship, but a place of political protest. This is where people gathered just before dumping the tea into the horror of Boston's historic Boston Tea Party in 1773. And here we have the old corner bookstore. This was a major publishing house in the 19th century. Today, though, it is a Chipotle Mexican grill. Olé! We now find ourselves at the 18th century old State House, the seat of royal governance during the time when we were still a colony of Great Britain. It is known as the backdrop for the bloody Boston Massacre of March 5th, 1770. Look here on the ground, this circle of stones claims to be the site of the Boston Massacre. But let me tell you a secret. It actually happened right over there. Do you see the problem? We wouldn't want to spend much time there, what with all the traffic. Ha 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 ha! Huzzah! Here is Faneuil Hall, the cradle of liberty. Behind these great doors are 3 floors. The first, a marketplace. The second, meeting hall. And the third, a museum filled with weapons from the ancient and honorable artillery company. Important note for those of you who need to use the privy. The bottom floor is where the bathrooms are. And now, we make our way to one of the most distinctive neighborhoods in Boston, the North End. Our little Italy. Ooh, look at these cramped streets. How quaint, how sweet. But don't be fooled. Though they are little, they are not cheap. This studio apartment is $3,000 a month. Ooh. Known for its restaurants, serving the most delicious Italian fare. Pasta and pizza. Everyone has their favorite. Many people like Mike's and modern pastry. I myself am very partial to Bova's Bakery. Delicious pastry served with a smile. And around the corner, Monica's, one of the best Italian sub places in town. But enough about food. Here we have Paul Revere's house, Midnight Rider, and famed silversmith. They even display many of his silver items to this day. One of my favorite sights, the Old North Church, the tallest steeple in all of Boston in the 18th century. From that very window, the famous lantern signals, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, were held aloft. Oh, and now we must go up a hill, my friends. Please forgive me. I know we've gone a long way. Follow me, and huzzah! On our right, we see Copp's Hill Burying Ground, one of the most beautiful and picturesque burying grounds in Boston, in my humble opinion. And we must now make our way out of the North End, across a bridge over water, into Charlestown. Never fear, I shall lead the way. Listen, you can hear the water as we cross the bridge. Oh. Ah, we've made it quite the walk, I know. But look what we get to see. The Bunker Hill Monument. This obelisk marks the very important battle, the first pitched battle of the American Revolutionary War. And finally, we get to see one of my favorite sights in all of Boston. Behold, the USS Constitution. Come closer, come on, come here. Ah, yes, my friends, here she is. Ah, the oldest commissioned naval vessel in the United States. She was initially launched in 1797
Gabe.
and she...
Gabe.
Yes?
Your cat threw up on the rug again.
I shall attend to it anon, good mistress. Oh, thank you all so much for joining me today. As you make your way home, before you make your way home, my friends, remember that your humble tour guide does accept tips. Hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes, toilet paper, ramen noodles, what have you. And before we part ways, remember, history does not end. We are all living history right now. That being said, go forth and make history! Huzzah! Thank you, my friends. Where's the puke?